Well, let's dive
Okay.
in. So you get contacted, you start to go down the path. What happens? Tell us the story. What happens from there?
Well, I was contacted, and I do keep a very busy schedule, as you can imagine, and I speak a lot. I happen to be at a very intense executive retreat when I was called, and so it was pulling me away from what I was supposed to be, really doing and focusing on. Now, at this retreat, interestingly enough, was one of my advisors,
Hmm.
but she was very busy doing the retreat, right? And so the interesting thing is I kind of took this, I'll just do this myself, kind of thing. And that was obviously the wrong take. But by being contacted, someone else laid down a timeline for me. And I was not strong enough to stand up against that and say, no, that timeline does not work for me. I need more time to look at this, more time to do this. But it was very enticing. And there are a lot of fits. And if I had to do it all again, I would buy it again. I would do it differently.
Okay.
But there are
Good to
so
know.
many things that were absolutely a perfect fit. It was almost like, this is what you've been hoping for. This could really do this for you.
So
And
how did it fit for you? What made the sense? And by the way, were you contacted by the owner or somebody that was representing the owner?
No, the owner directly.
Okay, so directly.
Mhm.
And so why was this a fit? Was it a technology that would make sense for you? Were there people that you were going to get in the acquisition? Where was the strategic fit for you?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think three things. Number one, it was location. It was a natural expansion, just
Uh-huh.
in a radius to me.
Uh-huh.
Number two, it was a diversification of my portfolio. So as you mentioned, I'm very heavily B2B lead gen, digital business. This one happened to be travel and tourism. Okay, now let me just tell you that in 2019, that sounded wonderful. Okay. Please don't put your COVID hat on and think, Priscilla, what were you thinking?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
it looked great in 2019. Nobody can fault you for that.
It really, really did. And then the third thing, yes, I was when you kind of started talking at the beginning about how painful it is to hire and to find the right people, and to do that at scale, literally, I mean, tears,
Yeah,
right? Okay. And so there were three particular positions I was looking for. One was a web designer, in-house web designer, and developer, a photographer, and a videographer. I was looking for those things to expand my team. Everybody else would just be extra icing on the cake, but I needed those three positions, and I got two out of the three from that acquisition. So it became more of an acqui-hire kind of situation, and buying a portfolio out.
Okay, that's great. I mean, those are awesome reasons to be doing an acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So what transpires from there? So it sounds like you and the other owner start having conversations, and talk to us about the process. What happens from there?
Yeah, so I thought I was doing a pretty good job on the process. First of all, of course, he wanted more money. Then I was like, I'm just not that crazy. I'm like, no, that's not what it's worth.
So he had a price for the business that he wanted.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
my first indication of why I really, went very, very forcefully with him was that his price was based on what he needed for his family and to start another business. I'm like, that's just not my problem.
Right.
That's not my issue. Like, this is, are you selling a business or are you not? And the business has to be worth this. And so right away, I'm like, no, I'm not even having that conversation. But by me, putting my foot down and saying that, the whole conversation changed. I thought, okay, well, I don't have to do what this guy says. I'm not that dumb. However, you'll see in some of these, maybe we might beg to differ in a few minutes, but I did my best. Let me just say I did my best. But, that was also kind of a red flag of going, I don't know that this guy really understands what this business is worth. And this is one of the underlying things that it took me a long time to realize, even maybe 8-10 months after I had acquired it. There's no way that guy was running this company. He lost key people along the last year that made it where he knew it was absolutely dragging down, and he was barely keeping it afloat because he did not have the information, the knowledge, the personality, the work ethic, the employer relationship. He didn't have any of those things that he could have kept it going.
So this was a sinking ship, and you didn't quite know that at the time.
Right. Now, the business itself wasn't. The accounts and the people like in it, those were amazing accounts. Amazing.
Okay.
But he was a sinking ship. There's no way. I could have just let it play out for 6 months. I could have gone picked them all up.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Because
How did
there's
you
no
know
way.
that it was overvalued? Did you have somebody on your team that was helping you understand how to value a business, and they were guiding you through that, or you intuitively knew it?
I would say, first of all, I intuitively knew it, and then I got, someone to actually
Okay.
look at it. And I talked my CPA through it, and I talked
Okay.
a business, valuation person through it,
Okay.
and we, kept chatting about it, because the interesting thing was it was identical to my size.